Saladin versus Baldwin IV, the king who defied an empire in the burning deserts of the Holy Land. Two legendary rulers stood on opposite sides of history. One was feared across the Muslim world for his military genius. The other was a young king whose body was slowly dying but whose spirit never broke. This is the story of Saladin and King Baldwin IV. Born in 1161, Baldwin IV became king of Jerusalem at just 13 years old, but there was one terrible problem. He had leprosy. At a time when kings were expected to lead armies into battle, Baldwin was losing feeling in his own hands and feet. Most people believed his kingdom would collapse within years, but they were wrong. Far to the south, a powerful leader was rising. Saladin, known to history as Saladin, united Muslim armies across Egypt and Syria. His dream was clear: take back Jerusalem. Saladin was brilliant, patient, and respected even by his enemies. Many believed no Christian king could stop him. Then came the Battle of Montgizard in 1177. Baldwin was only 16 years old, weak, sick, and heavily outnumbered. Saladin's army marched confidently through the land, expecting easy victory. But Baldwin made a daring decision. Instead of hiding behind castle walls, he attacked. Carried on horseback because of his illness, Baldwin led his knights directly into Saladin's forces. The attack was sudden, violent, unexpected, and against all odds. Saladin's army collapsed. It was one of the most shocking defeats of Saladin's career. For years, Baldwin continued defending Jerusalem while his disease slowly destroyed his body. He could barely hold a sword. Eventually he became blind and too weak to walk, but even then, he refused to surrender his kingdom. In 1185, Baldwin IV died at only 24 years old. Just 2 years later, Saladin finally captured Jerusalem after the famous Battle of Hattin. Yet even Saladin himself respected Baldwin, because before the mighty conquest, there was one king who stood in his way, a dying king who refused to kneel. And centuries later, the names of Saladin and Baldwin IV are still remembered together, not just as enemies, but as two of the most legendary leaders of the Crusades.